it's banned out.
Yeah, Savage Raw, they like screwed that spell. That's not fair at all. I mean, we started getting into conversation about it, and I was gonna say the number one. I mean, I spoke with some players at Starlight about this, and players tended to agree as well. The main thing is the rush bit. It's like totally unfair. You can contest rush by sending in your Spirit Bear and then forcing the enemy team to run at you. They can't do anything about it. But even outside the rush bits, one of the complaints I think Puppy said was like, what even is a fountain? Why does it make you run to your fountain? Like at least it could make you run away from the bear or in the opposite direction or in random directions. But the fact that everyone has to run to the fountain, now you like, so your whole team's running to the same place, like punching for AoE. So it's not just that Savage Raw helps the bear to escape when he's being ganked. It does all sorts of other tactical things which just don't, like, why? So NewBee have decided they agree. They've banned it, and they get
I like
the OD.
your excellent explanation of like why. Thank you.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I've been told that I say like too much when I cast, so I want to go back and change that like why to just why.
I also would like to stop prefacing my sentences with I think. It's a habit I have from wanting to hedge since I work in engineering, and unless you know you're 100% right, you don't say things. But let's get into it. We got an OD pick as a first pick. Actually, not terribly common coming out from NewBee. I'm pretty sure people are very happy to see this bad boy revealed so early. Venge Bat, follow it up.
Yeah, Venge Bat is an opening that EG are very comfortable with. This is the kind of opening they had at Starlight, like all tournament long. Venge is one of the supports that they rate the most, although Arteezy did play it once or twice. They mostly played it for PPD. And Batrider has like been a very successful hero for Sumail. Although again, Universe does play it. So, and this is something that EG in particular, I think they're the only professional team doing right now. There's a lot of teams which have a thing where sometimes, like Alliance have Admiral Bulldog's actually the carry usually, and S4 is like control. Teams can switch around. But EG, I think, with Sumail, is the only team that their usual mid player sometimes plays off lane. And it's something that they've done very, very well. I mean, there's teams in the past who did it, so I think DJ or Chrissy from Rave used to do that as well. But it's a very valuable thing for their team, because now they pick the Batrider, and you don't know if the Universe's hero is already picked on it, because Sumail also plays Bat.
Evil geniuses turn to ban.
And that's the
okay, so we were just getting confirmation that we're on for the game tomorrow, Scant. Okay. So if you're around,
is it at like the ridiculous?
Oh, it's that awful o'clock time for you. So I'm just saying, I think it's at 4 AM for you. Not important. Let's focus on this one. Something I did quickly want to explain. So I'm talking a little bit of schedule, guys. Because these games have gone so late, it is 11 PM in China right now. The players, have games the next day. There's also the issue of the group stages aren't played out. The group stages need to be played out because while top 4 advance, the first place goes straight into the second round of the upper bracket. The second and the third place go into the upper bracket, and play against each other. And then the fourth place begins in the lower bracket. Right? I will also link in the chat the bracket so you can all see. This is of course important because if it is not played out, then they don't actually know who's where. Additionally, we currently do have potential tiebreaker situations depending on the games tomorrow, and that does mean that it could push back the schedule. So the playoffs are meant to start tomorrow. They're meant to start tomorrow at noon Chinese time again, which is 8 PM PST or 5 AM CET, and it may end up being pushed back a little bit just because, as I said, the group stages do need to be finalized before we get into playoffs. There's how the schedule worked. I believe I linked it into chat. Back into the dropped Earth Spirit.
Reserve time.
Yep, Chinese team gets Earth Spirit. Meant to be auto-win. But then NewBee's OD is also meant to be auto-win, and so is EG's Venge and EG's Bat, so we've got 4 auto-win heroes, and obviously they can't all win. It's intelligent by EG that they ban out the Disruptor. They ban out the Oracle in the first phase. They've got the Venge. And usually Batriders, when they're not against one of the direct counters, do very, very well. Especially Sumail's one, or Universe's one. So NewBee might have to start thinking about one of the other counters. And the remaining ones are, I don't know, Shadow Demon and Abaddon, I guess. I'm talking about heroes that, like, sort of directly interact with the Bat jumping and catching someone. That, like, stop the Bat from pulling them away, or... And yeah, Venge and Oracle the best ones. Disruptor's a pretty good one.
Mm.
They've picked the Newbee picked the Night Stalker and the Earth Spirit, which are probably their two supports, which to me says they very well might not take anything to do with the bat initiation.
Yeah, none of this is looking like. I mean, okay, so you can always astral the person who gets caught by the bat, but of course, using the astral means that they can just say, hey, okay, we'll target the OD instead. The silence from the Earth Spirit, not so great. Even if the OD isn't pulled terribly far, the disable might be, because, Earth Spirit can help with that. The disable may be enough for the rest of the team to pick off the OD. I like this, EG feeling like they have covered quite a few bases and that Newbee maybe hasn't picked something to help there. And we did see in one of Newbee's games earlier today, they picked a lineup very opposite of last game. It was full of lockdown. They picked a lineup lacking lockdown and lost heavily.
Right. Newbee, on the other hand, their Night Stalker is pretty bad against them in China. Very good at Night Stalker, and I'm thinking, even if they don't have a hero to like directly counter bats, it might be that Night Stalker at nighttime is just meant to give that much vision, especially when he has the Ags, where bat's not going to catch him out because we have that. While EG have gone back for the Nature's Prophet and the Chen, Nature's Prophet's going to be Universes here, so we know Spell will actually be bat this game. We don't know yet if... Actually, I want to say that this is a TZ Venge, because I didn't see it, but I saw the stats for the game. I believe that EG in their first match of the tournament, in their first game, PPD played Chen, which I'm taking credit for because Starlight at the analyst we had an argument about do EG have a Chen player, if they have a Chen player, is it PPD or Fear? And most people said they don't have a Chen player. Some people said Fear, and I think I was the only one saying that PPD would play it, but he did play it earlier today.
Two things. RTZ does have a couple of Venge games. It's not out of the question, but it has been overwhelmingly played on EG by PPD. But of course, with the Chen being here, it could be a core Venge. It's also something where, not to discount the hero, the Venge can have a lot of complexities in, depending on how you use that swap, can be very powerful. But I don't think Fear would be bad at the Venge if they wanted to go that route either. I mean, pick something more traditional.
Fear could even play, right? It's possible, but it normally see him as one Chen player, and so you're right. If PPD is 10, then I guess be a Venge. But to me, it's more standard this Venge to be an RTZ and sense and PPD to be a Chen. The chances of PPD like to draft like one main strength of this many times. I see the chances are they haven't actually yet completely. Like depending on last because willing to still change his what.
I also agree with that, and something I think is very powerful in AG's favor. Obviously, Pia having played all the roles, probably has played all the heroes. I don't actually know if he's played all the heroes competitively, but right, the guy knows how to play stuff, right? Even if they have to put him on something a little uncomfortable, it should work out. Newbee go with the Zeus, another pick that's very comfortable for them, and it looks like safe lane OD.
Yeah, and you don't always Zeus and Fear. EG takes Zeus as support. Very good. Just reason is Night Stalker, because they need extra vision. Because they don't have a way to deal with bad catching people, they just want to like see it coming. Zeus is also good at high ground defense, they go up in support strategy. So I think there's a lot of reasons that Zeus is a good pick. And yeah, it's very likely that it will be a safe lane.
I also wanted to point out to people that if Newbee can win this game, they will be, because I'm trying to look at points here, they'll be tied with EG for third, fourth place within their group. And again, very important matchup. So yeah, the matches tomorrow matter, and this match matters a lot. So next up, Lena Ban out because Chuan's in the game, as is Lee.
Alright, because EG got at 0 and 2 and 2 1s for us, so if it's a 1-1 they even.
But then there's still a game tomorrow, and I don't actually know who's already played Spirit, because Spirit might be still sick tomorrow.
Spirits are finished, I think.
Are they 100% finished? Okay, so then never mind, Spirit is not a factor.
So it would be EG versus Vici and Newbee versus EG.
Okay.
So there'd still be something for regardless of weapons and things.
And for both of those seeds, right? If OG can take a 2-0, they can potentially pass Vici. And same with Vici, they want to take a 2-0, so they stay ahead of OG. So all of these matches super important.
And interesting that NewBee so I actually think it is RTZ here again. They're right, so I was wrong, they were right. It's gonna be a support vet. It's gonna be a carry vet. And now I see who plays the Chen because PPD main and Chen from I can tell. I mean, no, you never picked Chen until today, which is a match I didn't see, but I checked that and it was Chen.
Why not surprise everyone? Support Sven! Okay, even though RTZ plays him a bunch, right? Why don't we just mess with mines even more? It's viable.
It is actually. MMY does support Sven all the time. It's possible, but it's...
seconds remaining.
I guess I'm like more convinced that's easy to just be Sven of the things said.
And this is a hero that doesn't get nearly as much love as these other ones.
Support Zeus, by the way.
Yeah, I was actually thinking maybe the mid Zeus just because I feel like we've seen some ODs have a bit more success in the safe lane, solo safe lane, but it is neither here nor there. Support Zeus. How do you feel about Moo mid Bristleback?
It's gonna be a fine matchup against Bat. It's tricky for Bat to put together, right? The Bristleback's one deal more damage. It's actually, I don't think it's the lane by Bat, right? Bullies the enemy, which you can actually do against the Zeus, even against the OD. It's also a combo. This is like, again, I was speaking last game about Bristleback a class combo. Bristleback has cheap that he has, and the OD means that he just never ends out on it. So when Newbee push, Bristleback's gonna have charges all the time.
Something though that I do wonder about, you said Bristleback's damage is more immediate. It's really hard against a hero that nerfs your turn rate, right? To put your back to them and get on out of trouble.
He doesn't get that mad, but I think that his play is just like because usually against a Bristleback you don't get cool stacks on yourself. Against a Bash you don't get too many stacks on yourself.
30 seconds
This is all for them to get a lot of stacks, otherwise they have to risk himself to really the concern here. But I mean that's shocked if Mail got a kill out of it, so you get killed out of any lane. And it's not, I don't think it's like I'm sort of giving the analysis for I think that to run. Sure that they made it. Stop they both third lane.
I thought that was cute.
The battle begins.
And we're getting into it. It's gonna be the rune, old regular rune splitter. So Earth Spirit, again, we've seen this before from Newbee. You have to get a lot of work done as the Earth Spirit. And for EG, they can actually have the Chen hanging around mid to make sure that if something happens, EG's there to help out.
As well as the drop, and we is not bad a lot against NewBee. And actually, I mean, most of the Chen play because they just get really out and farm the jump. They don't really do that much off lane. But I think it's something to keep in mind, I guess. Also, it's really good against the Bat, it's really good against Edge Prop, so Nightstalk has a good game, that could be very important for NewBee.
I do think this is a rough lane to play it into, obviously 2 stuns. You are the Night Stalker with 5 starting armor, and then having a lot of HP, but you still have to be wary. You take 2 stuns to the face, that's quite a bit of damage, and then the auto attacks as well, or a Chen coming in from the side to add on to that.
Yeah, he just lets it farm, and then he's go. That's almost always kind of Night Stalkers too.
I agree. I think it's actually pretty popular in the Western scene. There comes Stun, number 1, Stormhammer at the ready. Tule should be able to walk this one off, but it's good harassment coming out initially, right? Tule gonna either be forced to use all of his regen, or maybe just play really far back. And as you said, you want at least level 3 in that first night, but if you have something like 5, that's so good.
Yeah. Doing actually, it's actually very good at zoning off lane. And Visual Spirit is one of the weak support heroes by far to zone, especially if you take for not the wave, sorry. But Fear, I know he just has limits of word stand and how much damage he does when he uses spells when he's the laners. And I always like he does a little better to laners than most do.
Yeah, and this mid lane, really surprising. It's exactly what you said. Moo is farming just fine here. He is constantly just using those quill sprays, turning his back a little bit. Both of them have a lot of stick charges. And now Bristleback has a bottle, so he has the sustain. Because that was my major concern. It costs the Bristleback a lot more mana having a smaller mana pool to get away with all of this. But picking up an early bottle, gonna really help out. Okay, Fear is coming in for the stun. Can he catch on to Moo? Moo has 5 stacks on him, but it's actually Sumail taking a lot of damage, but Moo, he can't get back in range because of all that sticky napalm. Really nice play there on both parts, disengaging smoothly.
So I missed nobody dying on either side.
Excellent. Well played, Scan.
That's good. Time to reconnect. I'm interested in the fact also that in the past when I've watched EG playing Nature's Prophet in this patch, they almost always have a support that goes and takes his lane. Like he lanes till level 3, then he goes to the jungle and someone else goes. But that's not going to be easy for them to do this game because they have a Chen in jungle and because neither of their supports really liked sort of off lane. I don't think Venge or Chen can really stand there. So it's going to be a different game for Universe to what I'm used to seeing is off lane Nature's Prophets, and he's certainly getting very little so far. He's gotten to level 3, so he wants to jump where he can, but he'd have to go to base first then.
Yeah, there are the upside, of course, of having these hard camps now, but also it is something where he'd been kind of popping around in lane. He's low on mana. Looking over in bottom, the Night Stalker, as you talked about, had been zoned, has picked up his Iron Talon though, so he has options, and I'm really interested to see who can kind of get more out of this lane. Universe, who actually has the wave in a decent position for experience, or the Night Stalker.
Well, his wave's also been pushed in a bit, although it's being pushed in by enough they could dive him, because PPD is here with the Chen. I was wondering when we were going to see the first pushing movement from the Chen, and it's going to be now. The Earth Spirits come down too.
Okay, there's going to be a stun. Oh, the kick away from the Venge. The Magic Missile still comes out, and this should be our first blood. Even Universe coming in, wanting a little bit of piece of that Night Stalker. But here's Bristleback. Moo, he doesn't have enough mana for this engagement. Oh, he actually has 9 1 charges. He can probably go in, but he has none of that Nasal Viscous Goo. Doesn't matter. Arteezy getting very low there. He will go down. Who actually got the first blood there? Chen got it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a position that, yeah, it's actually a dream of a Bristleback to TP into that kind of position. It's really good presence of mind for Mew to realize that he can, because usually it's a lot of heroes. They've just used all their stuff. You're a Bristleback, you've got the 1 charges, and I think it's correct that EG back off and sustain 1 death instead of... I mean, from the previous game we know that EG don't mind when Arteezy Fen dies. Seemed like it was one of the main things he was doing last game.
Yeah. I also wanted to say that they've made sure that Chuan immediately coming into mid to sap up some of that experience, but also super interesting to me. PPD seems like he was... Yeah, he's gonna walk it off. Okay, he might walk it off to death. Now he's gonna be fine, and now Sumail also getting out just fine. PPD didn't grab a smoke. Most of the... Okay, there's a charge on bottom, stun on bottom. Moo taking quite a bit of damage. He does have 2 points up in that Bristleback, so he's gonna be bristle bonging around, and there's a rock just to make sure nothing else happens.
Yeah, so...
No smoke on PPD, talk about it. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, I guess because his rotation was just into the lane, he didn't feel like it was necessary. He wrapped one of his creeps around for the gank anyway. If you're going for the it's really not... I mean, he could have smoked his hero around to be with the creep, but the creep itself was enough to start the gank with a slow. So I think it's actually just like intelligent PBD. Rick doesn't need a smoke for that particular gank.
Now, do you think expending this much energy just for... I mean, obviously early tower is always good. Actually, there is 2 TPs coming in. There's going to be a roll in. Boulder's doing a lot of work. Arteezy going down before he can be sent home by the Chen. And now Fear, he's trying to hide, but there is lightning aplenty for you. Not looking like there's going to be a clean TP out spot. She actually didn't pick one up. She didn't have quite gold to grab one. Gonna try and give the bounty over to the Dire, but looking like Lee gonna get it. Night Stalker actually gets that last hit, and that's pretty good.
It's the scary thing about being a Sven. Why Arteezy gets all those deaths, especially the early ones in both games, because you're trying to push the tower, and the Sven's only way of contributing is standing at the front and hitting. Just as things turn sour, he's always gonna be caught.
1 second, Sumail in a lot of trouble. Also, they're trying to send him back, but he will go down. Too many stacks of quill sprays, and I believe Universe chose not to come in there. Started killing that teleport, but decided against it. So again, Newbee off to a great start.
Yeah, what do you know? Yet again, it's Newbee winning the early game. what they do just every single game. Every game I've seen of theirs in the patch, they won the early game. In fact, they even the Shanghai major qualifier, when they took the second spot, or TZ, is he gonna die again?
I don't know, there's a boulder being smacked through him. Oh, OD hits like a truck already. Welcome to OD. Astral Imprisonment. It does mean that they lose the Earth Spirit, and they decide not to engage on this full health Sumail. Okay, I think we're good.
Yeah,
You were saying?
I was saying, even in the Shanghai major qualifier, OGD got the first slot and Newbee got second. But it was a very close series between the two of them. And the third game of the series, Newbee was again in a position where like they were heads, they probably should win, and just couldn't quite do it. And the thing that's different in this draft, actually, that because Newbee have gone for Bristleback, they have a much easier way to high ground. In fact, EG have a push strat of their own. EG don't have very good high ground defense at all. They've got Venge to swap you in, Bat pull you in. Those are their two ways to defend high ground. But no, just like if Newbee gets to that position they got to last game, they'll just shove the Bristleback in front and go high ground.
Yeah, I actually, as you mentioned, I really like the Bristleback. It's similar to kind of a jug where you can put them on the tower and just smack away at it. A hero that it looks like Newbee had been trouble getting. I also like it here because it's a good mistake punisher. Sometimes when we say that, people are like, what do you mean? Everybody in Dota is good at punishing mistakes. Well, there are some heroes that if you're not focusing on them in the fight carefully enough, like the Spectre or like the Bristleback, they can do a lot of damage. And I think Bristleback's one of those.
Dire's top tower has been denied.
Which is the best way to go. Your team should sync with the ship. No, that's just late night talking. We have stacks coming out. This is also pretty common. Both sides actually super stack capable, and I wouldn't be surprised if RTZ's already done the good old God strength for fine. Perfect Mode doesn't like you, but thank you for eating my lag. I actually have only had one instance lag in these 8 games. Yeah. So, game, don't worry, not terribly exciting in this case. I think, again, EG saying, hey, we have a plethora of options here. They're not behind. The game's incredibly even. And I think for EG, especially with a Chen on their lineup and Avenge, you group up and you're super powerful early game. You hit these nice peaks, obviously, with things like Vengeance Aura and Gold Strength being active. But there's going to be a boulder roll in onto Fia. There are a lot of heroes around here, but the nighttime is popped by the Night Stalker. They do... Oh, Barrett is just leaving him to TP out, so nothing's going to happen there.
Yeah, so there's two things that are... Well, okay, I'm still lagging. Is Chen being chased? It looks like he's being chased.
Chen is being chased. I think PPD, though, has it under control.
There's two boring things for EG here. The first one is that Newbee's heroes are good at keeping the momentum and chasing them around the map. The second one is that EG draft doesn't really want to play from that position. EG's draft wants to be the one that starts doing well and pushes and holds the momentum. Like, obviously they might have, even if it gets to their high ground later on, this is just speculating. They'll always have Bat and Vent to catch people out. But to get full value of the Chen, they wanted to be the ones that are like feeling comfortable pushing out. And they've not even killed the first tower. I mean, Universe actually got a tower at the top lane at some point, but the first tower Chen tried to kill is still up.
Yeah, I mean, this is somewhat of a problem. I do worry about, as you said, the Chen maybe not getting as many objectives, but they are going in on mid. We're going to be seeing Fia using that swap out, and now they take out the Earth Spirit. Nice first swap of the game coming out.
It's got Blink, and look at the courier. He like is deliberately not showing it while they push the tower. The courier, he's like, I'll send it to myself when I really need it, and here it comes, and he might use it right now because they haven't seen it.
Yeah, Bristleback's preparing to set up onto Fia, looking like he will be the sacrificial lamb again. And Sumail TPing away. They're going for the kill on the bottom lane. Can they catch out the Night Stalker? He's not an easy kill, but Sumail showing off that blink, gonna push him back into a lasso. Nature's Prophet coming down to help out, and boom, he burns down, although mid-tower maybe gonna get attacked now.
Yeah, it's very important battle, right? That's what I was talking about my before. Like, you really want to get a kill with your blink right after you buy it, and then kind of start building up momentum. Notice also that Hal's got the drum on OD, which is a build that he likes to go for on the hero, but it's, I think, not a build that lots of other people like to go on the hero. I think in the West
stun coming out onto Moo. Now the Stormhammer as well. The spot back into his team. He's not facing the right way. He's taking a lot of damage, and as the all-heal OD is helping him out for a little bit, but I don't know if his team has the right follow-up. Hal poking away at them. He doesn't have his ult yet, so he can't really help too much. They're trying to go in onto Samil. They do manage to get that kill. The ult comes out from Juan, and now a roll in. Are we going to be seeing the first magnetize of the game? He hasn't thrown it yet, but there it goes. Arteezy being zapped up, and they have turned this fight around. Moo also buys back to come back in. Lee needs to stop taking damage there, as does Tule.
So,
and Moo wants the tower.
EG went into a fight with the plan, with the bristleback, but fortunately it was a plan that resulted in 3 of the heroes die. And he was like, whatever, I'll just buy back. I mean, I don't know if he actually needed to buy back. Maybe he didn't realize how well the fight was going as a result of his death. EG committed so much just to him. I guess that EG also killed Hal, so it's not actually, I mean, it's neither here nor there. It's not a huge, in fact, it's maybe even a net gain for EG in terms of gold, which is bizarre if you consider 3 blue. I guess there's a buyback, so you, I don't know. It goes down. There's a lot of there. I'm not sure who completely. Probably the team that kills the tower is still the bigger winner, because it's positional win as well, not just a gold win.
Yeah. So I think it's actually still incredibly even. Unfortunately for the bristleback, that buyback does put him back some. It looks like he might be going for an early Crimson God, which works excellently here because there will be so many units. It means that the Nature's Prophet and the Nature's Prophet's Treants and the Chen creeps will do very little. Although we have another grab onto the Earth Spirit in the mid lane, taking quite a bit of damage. Can he get the roll away? He can't even turn around. No hope to get out.
And Sumail Bats is just doing Sumail Bat things. That's a good sign for EG. At the same time, 2-lane Night Stalker is doing 2-lane Night Stalker things. He's like 1,400 gold away from Aghanim Scepter. And that's what I said in the draft, that's the response to the Batrider actually. Once he has that Aghanim Scepter and NewBee start playing together, plus the Zeus ulti, they're gonna have so much vision that it's gonna be very difficult to actually catch people.
Yeah. So, once again, they are getting the Roshan. This is a nice fighting point for both teams, you could argue. Although back the lasso, yeah, it's coming off of cooldown, and Bristleback has a nice advantage there. The Aegis is picked up. Sven gets a tower in the meantime in mid, which opens up the map some, but Rosh always a big advantage.
Fear could, they could short Fear there. They might still go for him. Looks like they're thinking about it, decide not to. He was way behind enemy lines, but no vision up yet for newbies, they weren't sure exactly who's where. And Newbee will smoke, so... Is this for Universe, or do they know that Arteezy's here?
I'm not entirely sure, but this might be somewhat easily choreographed, right? They just rushed, they're off the map, this lane is pushing out way too far. Oh, and they actually head on down.
Fear
not actually...
tank the gang.
Yeah, if Fear tanks the gank, obviously pretty good. You don't mind losing Fear, you'd rather lose PPD, but can they get Arteezy as well? Blocking up Fear still. Moo probably going to try to go in onto Arteezy, but he's a bit deep past a tier 2, and they decide to back on out.
Yeah, and in this game, it is PPD though, so I think they actually would rather lose Fear than PPD in this game. Like, he's playing the very hard 6th position, and PPD is on the Chen, getting some farm, being proactive. Still not, I mean, it's very interesting for me to see because I didn't watch that earlier game. It's the first time I've seen him play Chen, and I'd seen his Enchantress before. How?
Okay, we're gonna have OD steal the DD. Universe is trying to come get the Sprout off here, unable to hit him, and now Newbee heading over, but I doubt anything will come from this.
His build saved his life actually. The fact that he had a drum, that's how he got out of Sprout range. So don't be questioning that drum build.
It's not a bad item, it gives you great stats, and of course the active is really helpful for tower sieging because it can also give you a bit of extra attack speed.
Oh, I think it's very good.
Oh, we have TPs out and Chen send homes. It sounds like Chen is... Oh, he brought his creeps to him, so both of them die.
Yeah. It's definitely a good item on OD, it's just that I don't know that I've seen players who aren't how buying it. I think that certainly the Western ODs I've seen go straight to the 4-star at ATOS or BKB, Blink. Those kinds of items I actually really like. having both the drum and force off or the drum and the ATOS. I think Hal's onto something.
Okay, now they're going in onto Fear. They'll get a couple of smacks onto him. He doesn't have a super easy escape here. He does have a swap though. Can't TP so easily because they're on the chase. They've even TP'd up move, maybe thinking about pushing that top tower when they can. Hal has another Astral up, and this should be the end of Fear.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, so maybe I think things, and I think this is the Knights just finished. Spirit's actually, which is pretty disgusting item too. So things are going pretty well for Newbee. Like, sure, easier stay game because they cannot game, and so the farm is really not. And it's likely that EG keeping the game split, getting old. The them is Universe's Aghanim Scepter because Prophet Ag's very good at lane put into position like last game where they can't finish the game even if they're dead. Yeah, and the one big difference maker of this game is that if you get that gap, so from that with Ags, they'll feel a little confident high ground if they get the opportunity to go high ground.
Again though, with an Aegis, Newbee maybe haven't made the most of it. They still have top tower to push through, and the Aegis only has a minute and a half left. So
they won't
less
finish
than a minute.
item. I mean, the Ags the Knights have blink now on.
And a gem on the Night Stalker. Okay, as you said, blink on OD, PPD, quickly falling mech or no. And now they're rolling over, using that Zeus ult to know exactly where folks are. Sumail going to be silenced up here. He should be able to get off at least the 4-stop. Okay, they're coming in from the side as well. He has been stunned up and he can't 4-stop, knocked out.
I find it kind of funny that Hal was just taking the chain creeps. He's like, that. After a while, it's not it. But like, we can actually kill her. You see that blue, and you probably think, okay, he's up. But it's just good spirit factor. Like he can catch up to you. It doesn't matter what wins.
Yeah, he's obviously in the right hands. Earth Spirit, very strong hero, and they're showing off that Chinese Earth Spirits, as you said, a lot of the Western teams maybe not respecting them. Chinese team picks Earth Spirit, Chinese team wins the game. Maybe they're going to be able to find more. They do have the Astral Imprisonment on to Arteezy. He is going to pop out there, thinking about going in here, but he does put the God Strength and the stun doesn't quite go off. He is hitting like a truck. Everybody's scattering. This is a 10-second BKB, and he's just going to TP away.
Yeah, BKB is still a problem. It's something that definitely is a problem for them. They've got really no. So I see BKB is the whole team is there. It's for them to fight since. And then farming up at the top, he's getting close to that, and that's gonna be. I mean, it's the game really worked last game, even when it didn't have Nature's Prag. You expect that you will think with Nature's Prag, that same game plan will be easier, and so they'll be wanting to finish that and then the split push.
Shen build a Vlad's here next. Look on. He's got options, but I'm just wondering whether, because they definitely have, okay, we're going to be seeing Sumail maybe in a lot of trouble again. The mech helps him out, brings him back up to half health, but it's about to be taken by OD. And now, as we talked about already, boulder kick misses. Will they ever push this top tier 1, do you think?
Yeah, they can just backwards.
Oh, is it? Oh yeah, they have a DD. It's easy pickings for Moo. And he has finished up another item as well. Is it just, yeah, full Sanjin Yasha coming out for the bristleback.
Tier 1, like some, you don't actually have side, but you can just backdoor it maybe. Oh, bot lane. OD's that coming on and you know the too.
Yeah, OD obviously hits. Oh, he's got him. One more, it won't go off. He was at 100 health.
He chose not to ult.
It's a long cooldown.
It's a really long and it's just fights. And it's just the gods. What's the back big?
What?
Actually, it's very big. But yeah, ulti would have definitely.
Made what are you talking? Oh, you're talking about the ult. Okay, yeah, my scan is.
So I'm looking at
7 AM. Whoa, come on.
I'm looking at the intelligence.
Oh yeah, he has 35. He was like, I actually think it's kind of funny because he, obviously the changes to Arcane Orb, has really changed how you skill this guy, but he had a lot of install in there, and in this next engagement, they don't have Aegis or anything, but just feeling, I mean, their Bristleback has almost 2k health. Probably feeling in a secure position to push down tier 2s even without an Aegis. And so, as you said, very different situation.
Something Newbee needs to be afraid of is like being the base, being back and vent up. Yeah, but just like we're jumping, there's a chance to actually catch us out. That's what it looks like.
Oh, Sumel, he's looking for a pick there, having that Firefly already up, but there is no space for it. Something that I think is nice about EG's lineup, generally when you pick the bat, it means with a push lineup, the goal is to get a pick off and then continue the push because you have the superior numbers and you can do that very easily with a lasso. But even with Blink 4 stuff, this is a scary team to initiate into because immediately a boulder can come out from the Earth Spirit. Remnant.
Is that a...
Yeah.
Just checking if they're back off. Like...
And they've been using that quite frequently. I mean, this is a support Zeus.
It's to see, like, are they smoking? Is nature for hiding some? I think it's reasonable. The cooldown on Zeus is not that big unless you're planning to into fight it. Most teams use as a tool for scout.
So with that, we'll be seeing the smoke coming out of EG. Yeah. Their bottom lane is pretty far pushed in, so Newbee might have a good idea about this, and you can see they're backing up together as a group.
Yeah, but I mean, the reason EG smokes is because it's just needs a chance out of it smoking, so now there's a window to actually try. And the same thing. Hey, we just use ulti card, we can't see that. It was clever for them to smoke now.
So the jungle, a little bit of farm will be taken by the lineup of EG. While Ortiz poking away at this, he's actually farming decently, right? We already have.
You want to be a...
Well, as you say, that might not be their choice. Bristleback giving it a go. He doesn't have a way of stopping BKB TPs. He doesn't really even have a way of stopping TPs, but somebody else does move, put into a bunch of them. Oh goodness, that was not the Astral Imprisonment target he wanted. Chen sends one home, and as we said, no way to stop these TPs. They're all just gonna leave.
Yeah. So, how about have his Astral? It has to be what happened.
Yeah, no, yeah, I mean, double tapped Astral, it's almost midnight for them. They've been up since who knows how long.
Yeah. And, I mean, it's even possible, we're talking about hotkeys, possible he doesn't have that. That's there.
Yeah, we've seen that actually a lot. This is a main stage game, folks, so there was some serious technical issues in the first game.
I mean, it's not gonna be a Newbee. We've got some kills. You don't get anything out. Newbee still very good, as I'm concerned.
Ortiz is somewhat alone in this lane, but there's a haste rune just with his name on it, and Roshan has been scouted very short. Roshan timer.
Got that versus Trian, so it just ran off.
Yeah, I actually don't like that cosmetic. It's not great. It's just a fur tree. I much prefer creepy eater faces or the pink ones, but that is not important. What's important here is that we have Roshan getting very low. Everybody knows that everybody knows about the Roshan, and now we're gonna see Sumil getting ready for it. Moo is the only one showing. They have to contest this now, or they just end up losing it. Looking like they're gonna be fighting into an Aegis on Ortiz, and this is what seems to happen to Newbee, but can they pick up the support to have so much impact? The Magnetize is going out. TP attempts coming out, but instead, oh, did Universe get caught there right on the last second of his TP? Moo is caught between a rock and a hard place. But speaking of rocks, one does end up flying through. Zeus goes down. Universe in his own sprout. TP's out. Isn't gonna fall there. And now Ortiz, he's the one isolated. He does have Aegis, but it is something they could burn twice here. Fear has the swap at the ready, but Ortiz goes down. He can save his second life there, but not if they kill off Fear first. Fear is poking around on the backside, still trying to maybe get into position, but no, looking like he's given up Ortiz, and someone's gonna be donating into the OD cause.
Where's Ortiz? And it's both games. It's just like must be. I wonder if what's gonna rush Blink when in future. He's not gonna wait to get. So it happens over and over in both of these. They get in, they decide, but you can't get away. Sharon can speed. Sure. Batrider kind of, but Sven is always the one stuck at the end and has to go down with his Aegis.
Yeah, so again, just like in last game, we're seeing Newbee take a lot of these good early game fights. To me, the real question will be whether they can actually successfully siege high ground. We're going to be seeing a lasso onto Chuan. He has lots of TP support coming in insta-mill. Even with a DD, you can't seal this deal. And this is not some bait here. It just looks like an attempt that didn't end up working out. Oh no, they're gonna actually maybe catch out Samil here. He does have blink up in 3 seconds, but constantly Bristleback disabling it. You cut down trees when you use that Firefly and he falls.
That was actually so gun. He like, if you saw right off the bat, decided not to gun him. He was like, air cancelling the whole time, deciding like, there's no point using it immediately, then Bad Rider's blink's gonna come on. So he waits seconds, then uses it. There's also way to cool down on hit blink, but it was perfectly timed actually, such that his own could blink forward and that couldn't blink back.
Yeah, it's a really nicely done play and they get a big pick off. Whether they can make something of it. Now, here's the trap I don't want Newbee to fall into. I think they can actually siege these tier 2s healthily without the Aegis.
Playing Bristleback just force him to TP out.
Well, you say that, but Bristleback's taking a lot of damage from the RTZ. He does go for the TP out.
Yeah, it's easy to force to respect him because someone else could be coming, someone else could be there. And not far when Ag's actually on the earth now too. Which is another very important weapon to the arsenal of Newbee.
In typical Newbee fashion, the Night Stalker, he's had his Ags for a while, but now has also picked up a Vlad, buffing up that whole team of Spirit. As we said, Ags coming out very quickly, and Zeus has a Veil and a Yules. These are some fat cat supports on Newbee.
Yep, and I was saying that PBD's top rolls to him, but actually it looks like the way the game's powered, 2 PBDs. Like, that's not seems to have PBDs. The point isn't having a single PBD is that for us value.
Yeah.
But if you have 2 support, getting very little. Especially when they change, because I mean, here that winds up by then is for the by swapping people in, swapping people arts, but the change just like, I don't know, maybe because of the fact that EGO and new Tang Chen, they've only their second official use. It's more really just how the stage went, which I guess is related to the Chen. Like, a big part.
Okay, we have a little bit of some jumping around up on the top lane. Can't get far enough away. It is nighttime. Night Stalker sees everything you're doing here, Sumel. There's gonna also be an ult from the Zeus. Oh, they want something bigger. They want something tastier. It's Arteezy again. Astral Imprisonment with your name on it. As you said, Arteezy dies a lot on Sven.
This one is because he was greedy. He beat without BKB. BKB, they had nothing to stop his team. I guess he thought they were one time. Starts using the team, doesn't want BK charge, and pay the price for it. And it's gonna be, I mean he's a party member spirit, like always whatever. I think he's actually good at him for the record. I think Sven might come in thing today because if you've just been watching it's easy, he's doing all the time. And if you actually understand the game, it's not necessarily like play well, but just as like raw get a lot.
Yeah, I actually heard his farm too, because before this he was sitting atop the net worth shot and he was a little bit ahead. Oh, okay, we'll talk about that in a second. He was very ahead of everybody else, and now not only is his team a bit better in net worth, that's been the case for a while. Look at the experience graph.
Looking pretty good for Newbee.
Yeah.
So,
and his move is going to... Okay, I'm not able to disable the blink in time.
Yeah, they didn't have ulti ready, otherwise it's been pretty kill.
And if we take a look at levels, we can see that, yeah, it's just a case of these supports are on Newbee, have a lot of farm, have a lot of levels.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, but it's, I mean, so the unit does have on his first to be in. Probably the main thing that's in the game this level. The plan is not going that way. You don't pick one side from behind. You don't pick even really wanting to fight. It can't pick offs for you. They set man's on one side. It's just never really been the game.
Yeah. So, OD already has his Shivas up because he's actually had that for a while, but you want int as an OD, that's what you're gonna get. For Zeus, I wouldn't mind I wouldn't actually mind the Aether Lens, but I would love to see another utility item, maybe the Force Staff to help if somebody's caught in the Sprout or with the Lasso.
Yeah, Force could be nice. Could be nice. But not too bad. I don't get Aether Lens or some of the bigger pickups. Yeah, just introduces I'm Scepter to TZ. And let's see what TZ
is introducing his ult to Hal. Instead, looking though like that Fear will be taking a lot of damage and they go focus on him. Where is Arteezy? Oh, he got sent home.
He can TP out. Well, he actually and then beat out. I guess you could say that you knew, like, you know how many I can get to attack before you have to TP with the B, so well done getting it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Really, well done. Sorry, I was looking at the experience graph, and here it comes. Moo, feeling very good. I'm a little surprised he never decided to finish anything else up with the Vanguard, but I mean, he's about to have more than enough money. He might just go straight out here.
He's playing in the big league, like, why should I buy a small? Especially because we've been talking all the time about Newbee's biggest weakness is falling high ground when they're ahead. And if they plan to do that, then, you know, it's like, don't make Crimson Guards for your team to go high ground. It's not an item for you if it's meant to be the frontliner.
Yeah, I'm not sure how, as you said, you really want to make sure the item progressions stay ahead of your opponents, because otherwise we'll see exactly what happened to Newbee in a couple of these other sets today. They really want a game here. Yes, they are already set to advance because Mineski has lost all of their games, but it would be better to have a slightly better seed going forwards.
You mean Spirits?
That too.
That's in that group of it.
Yeah.
It's, doesn't really matter. It's the same situation, but I think Mineski might, I'm not sure. Spirits me out, and these teams will definitely at some points. EG do have this play for them to make is the Furion, which keeps their lanes pushed all the time, much the fruition of NewB, and they pick off using the Ventrop, using the Batrider ulti. It's very bad for them. If they do bunch pickoffs and like slowly start to back the lead, they win this game just like they did last game. I just think it's more difficult for NewB to control than it was last game.
Yeah, I mean, ooh, they end up with a Basher on the Bristleback, gonna go for some more lockdown.
Spirit just turns Chen into a rock, but says, actually, never mind, don't worry about that.
You know, he's just letting Chen see the world from a new perspective.
Yeah, fair enough. And looks like NewB just wait for rush. With the next rush, probably try to force on a Hex star in addition to all the other items on so far. I mean, actually if you look at the network, we have two extreme cores on here. Furion is not far behind. Furion is built the waves push, that's it. Like, Octary core and Aghanim Scepter do nothing except make the waves push. So, talking about a fight, it's two very far, then everyone else is very far behind.
And this also hurts, I mean, all the way down to the supports, right? Against an OD, a Solar Crest would be fantastic. Against an OD, you know, 4 stars to help them get around would be great too, but their supports, they just have nothing. They have this mech. The mech, I think, right now is just helping you with like 1 extra hit from the OD, and you still die anyway. And now, Aegis in the hands of Bristleback. This should be their high ground push.
Yeah. I mean, the last rush, they EG who the rush. And then they got rid of the Aegis, but it wasn't on this side.
Oh, Chen trying to send back his babies, gets them all. Oh, actually, it looks like he lost a couple, but get some.
But
2.
The bigger deal is Chen has his ulti there, and that's like very long cooldown.
Yeah, obviously, not only does he have no farm for an Aghanim upgrade, but that thing no longer reduces the cooldown. So they're actually going to go for the cutesy play up here. Oh, they've seen it all. They're gonna kill off Arteezy. They'll leave Universe for later, not able to get the point up. Did they actually just drop the ult for that?
Yeah,
okay.
It should have got Universe. I think it was like hesitant about if they need help with Arteezy or something like that. Because he needed to stand near Arteezy of the bush. They could see Arteezy gonna kill him. So it was actually a call of like how long he has to stand before you go back and use it on the. But he's a buyback. Got it. She is decide to push now. It really takes a play from one exactly the.
Okay,
Yeah,
Moo gonna take a bit of damage, but as you said, he has Aegis and he has a DD. Might as well get this tower down. He is working on it, getting up those Warcry stacks, those Warpelt stacks as well. There's gonna be a Nature's Prophet Wrath coming out.
I actually think that like EG kind of needs to try the like left to swap into like Urinal farm kind of play.
They can try for the free kill here, but okay, Moo gets the cheese as well? What? We just okay. He's just right back up there. They're gonna have to kill him twice. There might be a push coming on bottom, but he has 3 more minutes on this Aegis. He is very in a good position to take the racks, and now PPD, he's in trouble. He's blown up already. Didn't have the ult anyway. There's gonna be a lasso onto How, and suddenly the cleave damage coming out from Ortizi. It is a bunch, but Moo just standing and taking it. Has Aegis either way. He does manage to kill off the Earth Spirit, looking like the tower hits are going to end up finishing off 1 life on the Bristleback. A swap on Chuan, putting him in. But Moo, though, is back. He can do with all of those quills round on people. Stunned up Chuan. On trying to get Titty. Moo actually getting quite low here. How coming in with the Astral, saving his life. They do have a buyback on the Night Stalker, and Moo, can he get out Universe? Missing the Sprout. Ortizi with the Stormhammer, though. They have to turn around again. His team has to play so close, but Ortizi getting very low. A few more auto attacks will do it, but now stunned up here by the Venge, who does have a medallion as well. Still, Moo doing damage again. Zeus, oh gosh, finishes off the Venge as the poor Venge is just trying to get off. PPD is gonna fall. He doesn't have buyback. Gem on the deck. They didn't get the racks here, but they're looking to be in a good spot too.
Chin with the backs in the least used by Universe might get by very low HP highs, going deep to try and find it.
Yeah. And obviously with the double buyback, they're putting EG further and further behind, even though they didn't take a racks. They're in a good spot.
Night also bought back. So
Yeah.
I don't know. The buyback situation is not that deal. If they had forced the cause buyback, I think it would be a big deal. But it's well done that 20 points had to buy back and they still held.
We could see though that Ortizi, if they're all grouped up like they were, just trying to get some slay on under the tower, Ortizi heavily punished them.
Okay, yeah, this I go back to Blinken a blade and Blinken. So this is real danger for EG. Cores are gonna be down, cores are gonna have to buy back. That's the next focus. It's possible EG to win by buying back cores. But I see another fight happen where NewBee don't keep the cores. But you've got 2 heroes that can just blink on or control them, and they did very soon after that.
Yeah, we're going to see. I mean, I don't know what the best way to counter that is. We are a long way away from Lincolns or Lotus Orbs that can seriously help out there. That right, it's not unnatural for him to try to work on something like that up next, but the farm is so low on this EG side.
Yeah, has been waiting at top lane, didn't go to the creeps, waited to come to him, so maybe it's a proper come to. I mean, if one force dies with up, then it's like very easy for Newbee to get maybe finish the game. They're not very far from doing that. Certainly, stages away. They first need to kill the cores, make them back, kill them without back.
We've seen this play before though, as we talk about from EG, right? Even though they're having a bit of trouble here. Oof. Hey, we said that last game. You know, I'm just keeping it neutral. Even though they're in a spot of trouble, I would say that we've seen this type of thing before, where one wrong team fight, Ortizi, you know, he can be 2-7-4 and still manage to make it back. And okay, PPD going down, but again, PPD. Oh, they do manage to kill off the Venge on the other side of the fight, though.
So they don't buyback and because they both together.
Oh, I was gonna say Universe though. He's a split pushing god.
Yeah, I mean, the against Nature's Prophet, the point at which if you don't think you can kill him, there's a point at which you just have to like go build let him push and watch you see it. For Newbee's sake, one way they definitely like this game is too frustrated by first keep chasing him around the game, and then at some point make mistakes. Same time if they make kills on him, it's very much chasing. He doesn't actually have TP or TP boots. He's only able to support at the moment. So big cap like soon after TP is trouble.
Mule is up from Nature's Prophet. As you said, they have to catch him out here. There are some sneaky boards they can put up, and actually, as I say that, they put this one up. So they're thinking about it already, and there's not an easy way for EG to deward, but I do think if they get distracted by the real prize, destroying your opponent's Ancient, we've seen this before where EG just take a racks off of people. Okay, but though, if they manage to catch you out of position, they're trying to boulder in. The Zeus ult comes out and kills off the Venge. She was incredibly low there. We're going to be seeing Bat Rider taking a lot of damage as well. Sumail does have buyback, but none of these lanes are in position really for NewBee to push.
Yeah. The NewBee killed Nature's Prophet is because that hero is single-handed just putting on lanes all the time and he's difficult to capitalize. So they would like nothing more than to kill Nature's Prophet, or at very least in fact, and the thing is, Nature's Prophet role here for EG to keep all the lanes. Big universe. He might have to buy back immediately, even if you're not at his. Just because he has to like keep the blow, keep the if he buys back and you're at his base, it's not actually that useful.
Yeah. And we've seen that before. Nature's Prophets very frequently will buy back, as you said, just to maintain that equilibrium, keep the base safe by forcing down yours. So what do you do here?
I actually think if you expect to initially kill him, because you have a pretty good tool to him. If you're like, let's just believe in universe. Let's just like believe he'll play fantastically enough that we're never gonna catch him out.
Now, I don't know if Earth Spirit is making a Lotus Orb. I would love to see that. Obviously, I think it's a pretty dang good pickup here. Stops a lot of the initiation. I don't know if I would think he's the ideal carrier of something. I mean, there isn't another one he can make. We already have a Shivas and an AC.
Yeah.
Oh, Universe, he's gonna get zapped a little bit. They stop the TP. Can they stop the other one? No such luck.
Yeah. So they actually find him there. They only have one. Oh, you know what?
Oh, you know who else they find? PPD getting smacked around. He was just 3-shot by Hal. And now also up there, their Spear taking a lot of damage from Lei. They magnetize him up, but Arteezy walking in onto Lei as well. But they've immediately ripped through the bench. Arteezy has a BKB. It is going to come off of cooldown. Universe blown up there. Will he immediately buy back Arteezy now? It is time for them to fight. They have the damage here. They just need to play with their fruit a little bit. Stormhammer does come out, but guess who's here? It is the big bad Bristleback, and he 2 smacks away from bringing down Arteezy. There are 2 buybacks at the ready on EG.
They killed the when you're the left side of the head, it's always that much more to buy back. Like NewBee don't want to go into position how pressure you should buy back. So I think yeah, they'll rush and just go for that instead. Yeah, once there's rushes, come over, move the hill. That's, I mean, EG actually took NewBee by surprise. I think NewBee would never have expected EG would actively choose to get in the fight. Actually, I mean, the fact that they kill the OD should maybe be, so NewBee should know, like, technically it's possible if they get jump, EG get a decent fight. And so it's like reminded, they just mind.
Yeah, I think it's
the game's
something...
not pretty one-sided.
Yeah, I mean, not only is it worrisome, there's nothing NewBee could do to capitalize on that because of the death timers on the OD.
Well, they're gonna get the rush. Get a 8 as she is.
And is Zeus working on a refresher here?
Yeah. Just gotta be well, he already bought Lincoln beer. But unless it's like a very lazy villain.
Hey, what if you Lincoln's Lotus Orb because you're the ultimate single target spell? No, I think it'll be the refresher.
It actually is. He's gonna rid of Octane boost,
really?
Get boost to travel. Yep.
Okie dokes.
Extra damage, extra range. The range is actually very nice because when they call Reverse, if either lens he would have been able to kill them.
Oh, okay. They've killed the Radiance Courier as well with big item on it. Excuse me. Sorry, it's gonna be Demon Edge and Daedalus. Arteezy just lost his Daedalus
right.
for 3 minutes.
That's pretty big because that's like you want to talk about Harry plays, it's like BG is really critical with them if I
Radiant's top tower
don't
has
get
fallen.
critical. Is when you have to lose, of course.
Yeah. Smell relaxing here. He's working on either an Octarine or an Aghanim Scepter. Whether it'll save him the game, always a wonder. The problem is, again, they need to push out bottom lane. If you're a newbie, I think you just try to take 2 racks while they take 1, but you also, as you pointed out, have to win the team fight. Excellent. They are going to be pushing out mid lane and bottom lane. While how eventually you sell the 4th stall for something. I'm not quite sure why. Oh
Newbee
gosh.
Like,
Look at the Night Stalker. He is just watching them. He does have a void coming out. There's the crippling fear. 1-2 auto attacks from Hal. Gonna bring her down.
0-13 for fear. Definitely taking the I'm PPD this game role seriously, although again, as I said, unfortunately PPD kinda is too. Again, that's, for me it's like the most striking thing that shows you the game plan didn't work for EG this game, that they wanted to have a better early game. They definitely didn't want to have 2 supports to have that at this stage in the game. Like, it's very normal for them to have 1 support that has very little. Yeah, that was meant to be Fear's role this game. PPD's meant to get a lot done, and unfortunately their early game just, I mean, from that first time they were to push the bot. And we were a bit surprised actually. Newbee made a lot of rotations in, protected it, and didn't even let them get that very first tower. Didn't let the EG push get rolling at all.
I think we're seeing again, time and time again, Newbee just can't really get out of their base too much. Even though they should be able to, the constant pressure being applied by Universe is too much. And they put up a bunch of boards to try and scout him.
It's not as bad as the last game, because Chun is just hunting him all the time. He actually knows where he is. I don't know if is he gonna catch him here?
He could. He stops the TP, but that's all Universe wants, to start his own TP. But now they are right on top of Universe. But they can't see him. They need another zap. They need some more smacks from Hal. They managed to get it.
An end to ill.
That'll be
well
enough
done,
to
Chun.
create some space.
I honestly, Chun gets all the credit for that. He's probably even the one who said, hey Hal, you need to upgrade your boots of travel. Because Chun's been hunting Universe the whole time. Comes so close so many times. Eventually gets. And I mean, the thing I wanted to say is, the reason the dynamic's different to this game is because even though Universe is pushing the map, it's a cost, comes at the cost of his team not catching up in terms of farm. So it's, I don't think there's that much pressure on Newbee to be like, oh, they're split pushing to get something done. Newbee could wait as long as they wanted in this game, they would probably still favor it, and they wait to just like get a key pick off when an enemy doesn't have buyback.
I would be incredibly worried about the stun in that case. Now, we've all seen Moo smacking away at the rack, looking like they're potentially giving this up for free. They've got the pull in onto Moo. He does have Aegis, but if you respawn in a terrible spot, and now Arteezy with that cleave damage, he has brought 3 of them down to half health. Moo in a bad spot. Arteezy still has that god strength, has used his BKB though, and now can they turn on and kite him? Moo doing a lot of damage, also has the stun coming out, but he isn't able to get out from under the tower, and nobody's working on the racks here. Suddenly Newbee realizing they need to get something done. The BKB has been expended by Hal. He throws out the Shivas, but he's standing so close to Arteezy, turns him into a little bit of a piggy. That'll do. And now Arteezy with the buyback. They've gotten both sets of racks in mid as well. And is everybody okay? So to Moo, you might be the sacrificial lamb. Oh, your team coming back for you. What a bro. Lay is. Arteezy, will he? Oh, Lay, maybe the ultimate bro goes for the boulder roll away. Well played.
And literally nobody does, and you gotta be pretty mad about that. It wasn't, I mean, they did exactly what I was describing earlier on. EG would like pull them really deep and try to fight that way. It's probably the best route they have, but because of the Aegis and cheese and the item discrepancy, Newbee were fine. They got Raxes, they forced buyback, started the fight out of Furion, Aetor out of Sven, and now they actually have that position where if they kill either of those 2 heroes, they can probably just on the mid lane and finish the game. Because they know that both Furion and Sven don't have buyback.
Once again, Newbee have put themselves in a dominant position. This time though, okay, we're gonna have nothing. Good times. A little bit harder to throw this one, right? You are 30,000 net worth ahead and 40,000 experience. If there's a comeback from EG here, I believe it gets up on that top board. Newbee going forwards. PPD gonna be that sacrificial lamb. And Moo just ripping right on through him.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult to see EG come back. I mean, honestly, if the Nature's Profitable event somehow like don't die again in the next 5 minutes, like will they buyback is cooling down, then they're still back with the shots. But I do feel like EG kind of need to defending their base. They need to pull some deep with the bats, and they also need buybacks of someone.
Oh, Universe gonna be taking a lot of damage in this bottom lane, and as you said, he doesn't have buyback now.
Okay, so this is it now. Like, spent to crit things. It doesn't matter if Venge or Bat combine, like, here at the farm, that's probably not even enough. It's like, it's Arteezy or nothing, that's what I think.
Well, can he do it? He's done it before. Gotten them to group up into a bad spot, kind of.
Arteezy
the fault of Newbee.
He was saying, I want to push, I can't do anything.
Oh
there.
gosh,
Like,
Al jumps in, is working on Samil, a nice swap, but I think they'll be able to force into them. They kill off Theo immediately, devouring. Arteezy is in the middle of them all as well, and now he's in a lot of trouble. He gets some really good crits. Oh gosh, it's not enough. And it's looking like that'll be GG.
yeah.
OD actually buys back to get all involved in pushing these racks. They can go for tier 4 tier if they so choose, and PPD holds it. GG! It's gonna be 1-1 apiece!
Yeah, Newbee end their first day with 3 draws. They'll probably be kicking themselves if they got a draw against Team Spirits. Because if they'd got a win there, they'd look very, very good in the group so far. EG will have a win, a draw, and a loss, so they'll be on the same points as Newbee going into their last match. With OG and VG Gaming sitting at the top of the group at the moment. But as you said earlier, like things could, all 4 of those teams are like sets of 2 playing each other tomorrow, so it could still change.